Well, hey everybody, it's me, Jessica, your health fitness program manager. I'm really looking forward to bringing you this slightly longer than usual Yin Yoga class. Recording a little earlier this morning, so you have an opportunity to join in at now and have the most amazing day ever. And I'll also be sure to post the YouTube link to come up at the regular class time so you can enjoy this whenever, however frequently you want. Right, Fred? All right. As usual, give you a couple, pardon me, moments to grab whatever it is that is going to help you have the most comfortable, relaxed class. Recommending that that is likely to be perhaps a strap, a block or two, and think about making your space a little extra nice so that you want take those long, slow, deep breaths. All right. And when you are ready, we're going to get started in a comfortable seated position of your choice. We're going to move from that position shortly into child's pose. I'm going to start in kneeling to help to easily facilitate the transition into child's pose. Right. I gave you grapes. Ate them all already. Would like some more. That's not nice, and that's not how we ask. Right? What the people don't know is that we spent like at least 5 minutes this morning, you stepping on my hand, doing some regurgitating for me. I gave you some peanuts and some belly rubs. I pet the back of your head for a while. All they see is how nasty you are. I just want you to keep that in mind. All right, so if you have not found your way there already, get down on your mat in your comfortable seated position of choice. We've got just about 3 minutes right here in this comfortable starting position. First things first, just focus on your breath. Checking in on the quality of your breath. And if you're still doing some normal breathing and breathing at the top of your chest, work to expand your inhale all the way down to the bottom of your diaphragm. And once you've gotten into that bigger breath, feel free to reevaluate your body. Notice if you're rounding at all, if there's any discomfort in your back, and if so, perhaps a little engagement will help, a little using the front side of the body to make the back side of the body feel good. We're just about halfway through. So if you did make any sort of adjustment, come back to your stillness. And throughout all of today's class, focusing on coming into and creating the stillness as quickly as possible, making sure that you have found a stretch that is noticeable, checking in that your noticeable stretch does not truly diminish your breath. Breath first, stretch second, stillness third, I guess. And if at any point you find that your stretch transitions from being noticeable, uncomfortable, into actually being painful, that is a great time to gently make your way out, find a new spot where you can create your stillness, and just breathe from there. Remember, if your eyes are moving, your mind is moving. So find that one spot to focus your eyes, relax your mind, and let's start scanning our head all the way down to our toes, checking in with how you can feel a little bit more relaxed. We're going to transition into that forward fold right now. And you know what? Honestly, um, if you're sitting in Sukhasana and you just want to take a forward fold from there, that's totally okay too. Sorry, it took me such a moment to finish getting that thought out. I was like, wait a minute, can we do that? And the answer is like, of course we can. You're doing what feels right for you. So if you're noticing right now that maybe you're having trouble getting your head to the floor, already start thinking about bringing the floor closer to your head, whether that means bringing a prop in to place your forehead on, or maybe taking out a little bit of the stretch in the shoulders. By bringing my hands in for support right now, getting a nice opening through that mid and upper back, a little separation of the shoulders. All right, we're going to take a little twist in our forward fold in just a couple breaths. I'm so sorry. Oh, I hate that sound. I'm so sorry. All right, as you're ready, gently start to walk yourself over towards the right side, still pressing sit bones maybe towards the floor if you're kneeling with me, or if you're in Sukhasana or seated position, just making sure your sit bones stay down on the floor. But either way, you can really emphasize drawing your left shoulder forward for an extra stretch throughout the left side of the body. Take your time with some intention. Start to walk yourself over to the left side. Press the sit bones back towards the floor. Option to still draw your right shoulder forward a little bit more, extra emphasis throughout the right side of the body. Press in the right hand a little more. into the floor to help make that happen with some ease. Remember, if your eyes are moving, your mind is moving. So find that one spot or close them. Tune back into keeping that breath relaxed and slow. And on your inhale, notice how your body is feeling. And on the exhale, release mental tension, especially, hopefully, a little physical tension. So on your next inhale, when you scan the body again, you're like, oh, that's kind of good. All right, walk your hands forward, walk your knees up. We're going to lay ourselves back down. We're going to lay ourselves down and come into a reclined butterfly. Think about bringing some props. The party, if you brought your blocks, keep your strap nearby. You might want that strap. And if it's challenging for you to press the outsides of the knees out towards the floor, then once again, lift the floor up towards you. Place the prop on the back of the outside of the knee. We're here for just about 2 minutes. So right now is a great example of like, yes, we're working towards stillness. We want to find a noticeable stretch and it might be uncomfortable. The stretch that we're really going for should be happening, opening your hips. We've got a hip opener going. So if you're feeling a lot of discomfort in your back, you might need to gently reposition yourself. And normally I do that as soon as we lay down. I didn't really think to do it today. So I'm going to reposition my feet, press into my heels a little bit so I can take a gentle little tuck of the pelvis and get more of the lower back. And that way, I can still really relax the upper body even more than I was a moment ago. Focus just on the opening of the hips. Ooh, I don't know about you guys. I am feeling real discombobulated today. I'm so thankful that we're here to create a little mental and physical space and just relax a bit. All right. We're going to straighten our legs out, straighten your legs all the way out. Take a moment, check in with the idea. Are your heels in line with your hips? So feet are slightly separate, or take a moment and slightly separate. With your left toes flexed towards your face. And again, that prop nearby. Go ahead, draw your right leg up and out towards the side. We're coming into wind removing pose. If you can easily interlace your fingers on top of your shin, awesome. But if not, you can already use your strap either on top of the shin, drawing the right leg closer towards the center line, or behind the leg so you can relax through your shoulders just a little bit. We're going to be here in this window for a whopping 3 minutes, but we've already been in it. So we'll say 2 more minutes from right now. Try not to roll too much towards the left, sorry, towards the right side. Great. Next, we've got a spine twist. So go ahead, take the left hand, bring it to the outside of the right leg. You can extend your right arm out towards the side. Use your foot, use your hand to gently roll yourself over onto your hip and come into a nice spine twist. We're going to begin this spine twist for just about 3 minutes as well. And the great news is if you used a prop um, for your reclined butterfly hip opener, perhaps like me, you're now placing either part of the foot or the shin on your prop to help support you in enjoying this nice spine twist. Also getting such a big opening through the backside glute. So much love into the back itself. All right. Just about 2 minutes to go right here. If you want to get an extra stretch in your neck, you can turn and look in the opposite direction of this bent knee. And then find your stillness with your body, your mind, your eyes, your breath. On your next exhale, carefully roll onto your back. Keep the right knee bent. Grab hold of your strap if you need to. You might want to loop it around your foot because next up, we're going for a reclined pigeon or a little reclined cradle the baby pregnancy pose. Anyway, if it's easy for you to just grab hold of your foot, and we're going to be here for, I believe, 2 minutes. Yeah, we're already in it. And you can just grab hold of your foot. Otherwise, grab hold of the strap. It was a little too much for you with this straight leg. Take a gentle bend in your knee and be kind to yourself. If when you normally do a pigeon, your shin is not parallel to the top of your mat and your heel's really close to your hip, you can still have that heel really close towards your hip. Find what works for you. We've got 1 more minute right here. I know that you're probably using your upper body to help find the stretch in the lower body. But think the best you can towards focusing on the stretch happening within your hip, in your legs, even if that means that you give up a little bit of the tension in holding your strap. We made it. Let's go ahead. Send the right leg up towards the ceiling for a big toe stretch, a nice hamstring stretch. And again, if you need to bend the left leg, feel free to bend that left leg. We're once again here for 2 minutes. This is a good time to remind you that while we are, creating as much stillness as possible, it is very normal to feel some shaking, twitching, trembling, involuntary movements happening. I say this while gently gazing towards the ceiling and seeing my toes just like doing their own thing a little bit. Uh, and if that's happening right now, enjoy it. Enjoy the deep stretch that you're actually creating. All right, bring your right leg in, take the strap off of your right leg. Take a moment, extend both legs once again. Just take a couple of breaths in some sort of savasana. And then once again, hips in line with your heels. Flex your toes back towards your face. Get your back relaxed on the mat as much as possible. This time we're going to bend up. the left leg, pull it out towards the side, gently avoid your stomach, your rib cage, and then draw it back in. Remember, both sides of the body are not the same. So maybe it was really easy to reach up and grab hold of your right knee, but maybe grabbing hold of your left knee is a little more challenging. So remember, you can use your strap right here if you need to, or you can also place that strap underneath of the thigh and hold on. Find what works for you. So we've got just about 2 minutes. We'll hang out here. If you're having trouble relaxing, try closing your eyes and really eliminating the outside distractions. And if you always close your eyes, and especially if you've been practicing for a while, try practicing with your eyes open. Work to find that gentle gaze on one spot. It's a little bit harder to quiet your mind and keep stillness with your eyes when they're open and you're looking and you see stuff around you. So remember that Rome was not built in the day. It is a yoga practice, not perfect. You're just doing the best you can to feel a little bit better. All right. Take your right hand to the outside of the left knee. Extend your left arm out towards the side. And then roll yourself over to come into a spine twist. And you can look in the same direction of your knee for a slightly more gentle spine twist. Or you can look in the opposite direction of your knee for something a little bit deeper. Remember, it does not matter what you did today, and it does not matter what kind of spine twist that you can or will do tomorrow, but what feels right for your body today. All right, make sure your strap is nearby. We're going to roll over onto our backs once again. This time, option to put the strap on slash around your left foot. Great. Now we're coming into this like reclined pigeon. Feel tight on this side. And remember, just like before, if you don't normally have your uh, shin parallel to your mat, if your heel is closer towards your hips, or if today is just today where that needs to happen, that is okay. That's why we've got the strap. If you need to take a bend of your lengthened right leg, this is also okay. We have 1 minute left right here, getting a slightly deeper opening into that hip, into the thigh. The low back still supported by the mat. I tell you what, I did a long spin class yesterday on campus, and these stretches are talking to me right now. Especially earlier in the morning, shortly after you wake up, or if you've like really been sitting in your chair for a while working on stuff, um, your body's going to feel a little tight, as opposed to at the end of the day, if you've had an opportunity to walk around a bit, feeling a little bit more loose, some of these stretches might seem easier. Something to think about. Let's go ahead, send left leg up towards the ceiling. Create as much length as you can. You might still need to have a generous bend in that left leg. Maybe you're taking a bend in the right leg as well. Yes, I am. So if you do find that you're like feeling super tight in the morning, that's normal. And if you're always feeling really tight, then mornings are a good time for you to challenge your flexibility. Just a couple breaths left here in this big toe stretch, this hamstring opener. Ooh, that was a lot. All right, take your time. Take a bend in the left knee as you need to, and then remove the strap. Go ahead, extend both legs out. Maybe you open your feet a little bit wider to really be relaxed this time. For another quick savasana on our backs, just to really encourage the blood to flow. Did you notice any sort of tingling sensation within your hip as you release that left leg down towards the floor? I know I did because having the leg straight was creating a little bit of a mild tourniquet effect. This such a deep stretch. All right, we're gonna roll over onto our bellies. So maybe you bend your knees to help you roll over. We're gonna come into Sphinx. Try it out with your elbows underneath of your shoulders. You can open your feet nice and wide. And if that's not working for you today, if that's too much pressure in your lower back, if you can't release through the glutes at all, open your hands a little bit wider and still work to press like the belly button down towards the floor. But as much relaxation as you can create in your glutes. We got 1 minute left right here. If this is still too much for you in your low back, though, I invite you to just bring your hands as a pillow down towards the floor and just breathe in a nice savasana on your belly. But otherwise, we're staying in some version of Sphinx. Relax your glutes for just about 30 more seconds, or option to stay here for 1 minute and 30 more seconds if you do not want to come into seal. And again, if at any point you're really feeling some discomfort, make your way into alligator and place your hands together and put your forehead on. All right. So you can stay here for 1 more minute, or you can try out seal, pressing into your hands palms, working to straighten those arms, squeezing shoulder blades together. Shoulders are drawn away from ears. Belly button is still down. Intentionally come back to your relaxed breath, relax your glutes. Relax your glutes. One more inhale right here. And on your exhale, release yourself slowly, carefully. Back down towards the floor. Make that pillow with your hands. Bend your knees and windshield wipe your feet. When you're driving through your own little storm right here, so maybe there's just a mist and your windshield wipers are going pretty fast. Wait, opposite. Maybe it's just a mist and your windshield wiping pretty slow. Or maybe there's a heavy downpour. It feels better to get that fast drop of the feet side by side. Just a couple breaths left right here to do what feels good for you. And then we're going to press ourselves back into child's pose. So maybe you walk your hands closer in towards your chest, walk those knees in a little bit, sinking glutes towards heels. Check it out. Is it easier to get your head down towards the floor for this child's pose? And great news, it's an extended child's pose. So I'm going to quickly grab hold of a block because I know that for an extended child's pose, I don't always love the sensation of all of the blood rushing to my head. Take a little lift of the head can help to release that, and I can focus a little bit more on getting a good stretch through the low back into the shoulders. And remember, you can take as generous of a bend of your elbows as you need. We've got 3 minutes left right here. one of our longest postures of the day. Bring your breath to the back side of the body. Oh, I'm sure you created such an amazing stillness. Start to walk your hands in a little bit. We're going to press ourselves up into tabletop. Enjoy some free movement with some cat cow. Free movement is in, don't feel like you have to just stick with traditional cat cow. Maybe you focus a little bit more on shimmies and shakes, side to side. Maybe you're into more circles with your hips, or maybe you're into more circles with your shoulders. If you do something in one direction, give your body the pleasure of finding the same stretch leading in the opposite direction. And here we are. We've been amazingly ooh, kind to our body for a little over 40 minutes already, if you can believe it. So at this point, you probably have really tuned into the spots that are not feeling 100% today. And you can use this cow and cat, oh my gosh, to really give them ah, the extra bit of love that they need. We're going to get another big active stretch into the shoulders, the hamstrings, the hips as we start coming towards oh, the end of class. Oh, this feels so great in the glutes. All right, So if you have a prop in front of you, move the prop out of the way. You might want to walk a little closer towards the top of your mat. Next up, we've got down dog. If down dog is not for you, maybe you stay in this tabletop for just an extra minute. But you know what? Maybe you try down dog. Um, Instead of having the weight forward towards your hands palms, bring your low belly towards your thighs. Now you can generously bend your knees as you need to, and then start to lift from your hips. You're working to get your biceps between your ears to create a nice straight long line. And if you want to take a nice stretch into your calves, you can drop one heel and then the other. And now towards the end, perhaps just drop in both heels at the same time. Great. And then walk your hands to your feet or your feet to your hands. We're going to come into a dangle. Hopefully your props aren't like super far away so that if the floor feels really far away, you can place your hands on a prop. Release your belly towards your thighs as much as you can so that you're really relaxing through your back. We're here in this dangle for a total of 2 minutes. We've already been in it for half a minute. And the more that you lift through the hips, the more you're going to feel the stretch in the hamstring. Now, if this forward fold is just not doing it for you today, instead of having your hands on a block, maybe you have a chair nearby, and I'd rather you shift and place your hands on the chair and really get some support so that you can stretch through the legs. And you notice with my hands on the chair, I still have a pretty flat back. So I'm just asking and finding ways to take this rounding out of your back to enjoy a nice long one. All right, got a couple seconds left, and I'm going to come on back over here into my dangle so that we can find our transition in another half a minute. All right, next up, we're going to come into a squat. I'm going to give you an option if you really don't like a squat either. But let's try the squat. Heel toe your feet out a little bit wider, about mat width distance apart. Heels are chinned in, toes are turned out, and then gently start to lower your glutes down. And you can even stay here. Maybe this is your squat today, not near the floor, but deeper. Or you can lower yourself all the way down and think about using your block to stay lifted so you don't have to get too negative in the squat. Another option is if you're sitting on the floor to just draw your knees as close in towards the center line of your body. I know we've done it before together, but we got a quick squat today. It's just 1 more minute from right now. If your heels are not touching the floor, that's okay. And if you need to sit down and come into your stump, I know we've done stump together before. That's awesome. And stump, you would just be pulling those knees in while actually sitting on your glutes. Find that one spot, focus your eyes, relax your upper body the best you can. We got one more standing forward fold coming your way. Take 2 more breaths in your squats. Then we're going to release fingertips back down towards the floor in front of us. You can find a generous reach forward and sort of fall towards those fingers. Lift your hips up. Bring your heels back in line with your toes for a nice wide-legged forward fold. It's pretty normal as you came into this wide-legged forward fold as well, that you had a lot of weight in your heels and that your hips probably shifted towards the back of the room. Uh, do your best to shift a little more weight towards your toes and get your hips stacked on top of your heels. So you can think about yourself as being in like giant tabletop, a giant tabletop uh, position. I guess my hands are a little further forward than tabletop. Yeah, one more minute in this wide-legged forward fold. So still hinging at the hips, which means that lower belly coming towards the thighs, as opposed to hinging at the waist, which brings a lot of rounding into the back. Check in again. Did you start to shift the weight more towards your heels? Because I did. I did. All right. Go ahead. Bring your knees back down towards the mat. Lift yourself up on your knees. We're going to take a quick little hip opener. So bring that right leg forward, gently stretch forward. Spend just 1 minute in the hip opener like that with the weight coming forward. All right, so with your right leg forward, take your left hand towards the outside of the right leg. Start to find a little twist here. Maybe even reach your right hand behind you towards your left foot. We're not going to lift the left foot up today because we're being a little passive, but you can still get a big stretch into the left quad by pushing the left knee down into the floor and squeezing your left glute cheek. We're getting a hip opener. We're getting a spine twist. We're getting a quad stretch. One more big inhale. Exhale, turn back towards the front. Now let's switch these legs out. Right leg comes down, left leg comes forward. Wiggle your toes forward. Ooh, shift the weight forward. Big opening of that right side hip. And if you're feeling a little unsteady right now, me too. Just so you know, you're not alone. And if you're feeling real steady, that's awesome. I'm so proud of you. You know what? Honestly, showing up today, I'm so proud of you. You're amazing for creating this time for yourself to move your body, to change your breath, to change your mental channel so that you feel good. All right. You can already start to feel the opening in the quad. If you're pressing that right knee down towards the floor and squeezing the right glute, but let's bring the right hand to the outside of the left leg. Start to find this twist, open through your chest and reach back like I present to you my foot. Make sure that you did not lose the engagement through the right leg. So once again, a little squeeze of the right glute, pressing forward, opening the hip, pressing the knee down into the floor, getting into your quad. And the left leg is just kind of there. It's there. And you're still like, look at this foot. Isn't it neat? Gosh, I hope your foot collection is complete. Oh, feels so good. On the back, we are amazing. Let's take two more breaths here. And then carefully take your time. Turn back towards the front. Ooh. Bring your left leg to meet with the right. Open your knees a little bit wider. Walk your glutes back. See if you can sit your glutes between your heels. If you cannot, keep your hands on the floor and just work towards the idea of applying some pressure of glutes coming towards heels. And if you can get your glutes down on the floor, awesome. We're just going to stay right here. We're not going to go any deeper for some version of hero pose. Big stretch into the ankles here at the very end. We're also cutting off a little bit of circulation to this part of the body so that as we release into our savasana, you might feel lots of tingling and blood flow back into your lower extremities. Let's take two more breaths right here. I'm looking at Fred, and she's looking so relaxed. She's got her eyes closed too. Excellent. Go ahead, walk yourself back up. Ooh, shift your glutes towards the side. Send your legs forward. Take your time. Lay yourself down on your back, coming in to your savasana. Feel free to open your arms as wide as you might want, or open your legs as wide as you want. I like to keep everything close to the center line of the body because I think it makes it a little bit easier for my body to relax if everything's close in. I don't know why. That's just what I do. If you're feeling any discomfort in your low back, consider bending your knees, tenting them together, really gluing a little bit more of the low back down towards the floor, a gentle tilt of that pelvis up. Ah, can help. Right. We're going to spend 3 minutes right here in this final savasana. And I hope you're giving this final savasana the same focus, attention, respect that you gave to all of the other asanas that we got into today. So still your eyes are focused on one spot or closed. You're tuning into your breath. You're scanning your body on your inhale and just noticing how you feel. And on your exhale, you're relaxing as much as possible. I know It can be tempting towards the end of class to think about everything else that you have to do today, but you literally have the rest of the day to think of everything else you have to do today. So take a moment, acknowledge that it's normal for that to happen. Tell those thoughts, I'll be with you in a moment. Bless their hearts. And then tune back in to nourishing yours with your breath. You're welcome to stay here in this final savasana for as long as your body wants or needs. However, if you are ready to come out and would like to close class out together, now is the time to make your way to a comfortable seated position of your choice. Hmm. Once you get there, take a big inhale, bring your arms up overhead, palms together, and then bring your hands down to your chest, thumbs touching on your chest triangle. Tuck your chin towards your chest. Take a moment to bow your head and honor yourself. Truly are amazing for creating this time and space for your yoga practice. I know it's not easy to turn off external thoughts. Promise you, from my personal experience outside of yoga, the mind is churning. But when you find your breath and your stillness, things feel so much better, even if it's just that breath, just that moment. If you have any questions or concerns about anything I said or we did, I hope that you'll reach out so we are together again. Think good thoughts, speak good words, eat good foods, do good deeds, take the time because you're worth it to nourish yourself from the inside out. If it feels right, you can bring your thumb up to your third eye, your drishti ground through your sit bones, lift your heart up towards the sky, open your chest, and know that the light within me honors, sees, and is so thankful for the light within you. I hope that you have a wonderfully open, amazing rest of your day. Namaste.